Hello, hello, and welcome to Beltway Book Club. I'm your host, Ellen Menny, and I'm so excited to welcome my guest today, Haili Blassingame. She is the author of the book, They All Fall in Love at the End. And Haili, so excited to have you on the show. Another author recommended you for the show, so I'm excited to have you here. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So I wanted to talk about your book, obviously, get into your writing process, all that good stuff. So give me a brief overview of what They All Fall in Love at the End is all about.
Yeah, so it's about a 24-year-old writer based in D.C. who is in an open relationship with her college sweetheart, and she falls in love with the only two people who are off limits, her boyfriend's best friend and his girlfriend, and it all takes place during the 2024 presidential election.
I love that. What was the inspiration for this book?
Me. I mean, so I was in an open relationship for a couple of years in my early 20s.
Okay.
And I just had no models for how to even do that. And so it wasn't until, I'm someone who searches for answers in stories and movies and books, and I just really couldn't find what I was looking for, particularly featuring a Black heroine, but also polyamory as a philosophy and as a paradigm shift rather than sort of a plot point or sort of like, look at this crazy new thing we're doing. And so I basically was like, I think I'm going to have to write this story to figure out what I'm doing, which is like, I don't recommend doing that.
I mean, but I think you hit the nail on the head, and you were kind of ahead of the times when you wrote this book, because now I feel like only recently, maybe in the past few years, we've been talking more about open relationships and polyamory. Well, yes, in the past, even just a couple of years ago, it was kind of a topic that people really didn't talk about. What has the reaction been to this book so far?
It's been... So there's a couple things that people have reacted to.
Okay, yeah.
So the politics in it, I think, has surprised people because it looks like the book is like a summer romance.
It's got a great cover. You can take a look at it right now.
And it is fun. Like, I'm someone who courts delight. Like, I want to laugh. Like, there's humor in it, but there's also protests, and there's Gaza, and there's the presidential election, and it's set in DC in this very turbulent time in the early months of the second Trump administration, and I wanted to capture that particular period and like what it felt to be here.
Right.
So I think that has taken people off guard. Some people have loved it. Some people are like, "Whoa, not ready for that." Some people I think are just automatically turned off by polyamory, but I don't know if those are the people picking this up because it's sort of honest about what it is.
Fair, yeah.
I think people are like, whoa, this is so messy. Cat girl, what are you doing? Like, I get a lot of that. And just like, I think the reactions have been really positive ultimately. And like the best compliment, I think, is that it's not what people were expecting.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Subverting expectations pretty much.
Yeah.
And you had a really cool path to publishing. Tell me a little bit about what led like this specific book to being published.
Yeah, my path is a bit charmed. So in
doesn't mean you didn't put in the hard work, but it's a cool path.
Yeah, so I think it was in 2020. Whenever. So I wrote a modern love essay, and it was about my open relationship and sort of navigating that process. And the reason I wrote it is so like arbitrary. Like, I was moving house. I like needed a new couch. I was like, what skills do I have? Like, I guess I write. Like, it was just so random that you would like write a modern love New York Times essay to get $500 for a Wayfair couch. I don't know. Like, my logic was off, but like it worked out. And I wrote it in like a week. And I didn't understand the scope of that publication. And, I had heard people say that they got agents from it. And I'm like, LOL, that's not going to happen. And I got an email saying, hello from book agent. Have you ever wanted to write a book? I was like, yeah. Do you want like 100,000 word historical fiction I wrote when I was 19? Like, I had like all these random books.
Here you go, yeah.
But so yeah, that's how I got my agent, and she originally reached out to me to write a memoir. That was sort of what people did, was like they would go, write modern love, and then they write a memoir. And I tried to write that. I was like 25. I was like, I don't even care about my life at this point. But I had started working secretly on a novel. I was like, I feel like there's a better way to talk about my experiences without being bound to the events of my life. And so I was lucky in that my agent still wanted to represent the novel. Mm-hmm. We revised that, and I know we'll talk a little bit more about the writing process. Yes,
absolutely.
But yeah, so it ended up working out. Yeah.
I love that. And here you are. Yeah. Did you get a couch?
I got a really nice couch.
Good. You should treat yourself. I'm glad you got a beautiful couch. I wanted to ask, you mentioned that you wrote this book when you were navigating open relationships and polyamory, kind of maybe feeling alone. Mm-hmm. There wasn't, as you said, there wasn't a lot of guidance. Now, kind of having written the book, being here in the present, what do you think the book taught you, or has the book changed you?
Yeah. Oh my God. So it actually accomplished what I set out to accomplish, which is incredible, where it almost exercised something from me. Mm-hmm. And so now I don't even think about non-monogamy, but it was like I had to write towards myself in order to understand this period in my life. And I think what I was really trying to talk about was this woman who was searching for agency, who has a limited amount of agency.
Right.
So it was less about this needs to be non-monogamy. That was sort of the form, but it really was about bodily autonomy and her grasping at a definition of freedom. And that was one way of getting at it. And so I think writing that was able to distill what I was searching for, rather than pinning it on this relationship paradigm, which at 25 I had been doing. And so, yeah, I did learn a lot. And I do, it sort of showed me my own odyssey. we were just talking about the movie.
We were just talking about the Odyssey, but it's an odyssey.
Yeah, to self-fulfillment and self-actualization.
Well, it's a beautiful thing when you can grow with a book. So that is very cool. We have to go to break, but when we come back, I want to talk more about the writing process. So everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Beltway Book Club after this quick break. Welcome back to the Beltway Book Club, everyone. I am your host, Ellen Menny, and I am talking with the author, Haili Blassingame, today. Her book, They All Fall in Love at the End, is a awesome book set in D.C., and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit as we talk more about the writing process. What was it like kind of putting DC into the book, making it a character? Did you do a lot of research for it?
Well, no, because I'm a second generation DC native.
Then it's in your blood.
Yeah. And, it was an essential part of the book in the beginning. But of course, when I was bringing in the election, it was like, this is a very DC story. I mean, we were kind of ground zero for the way things were going to play out across the country. And so I didn't do a lot of, so I'm bad at directions. So I did put stuff in the wrong place. I was like, this is the wrong cross section, stuff like that.
Gotta Google Maps it,
Yeah, but just sort of the texture of it, the red line, they were always doing construction on the red line. And
even to this day, even as we record
I was late for something the other day because they were shut down. So things like that I know intuitively and instinctively about the city. I didn't have the research, but you do kind of have to remove yourself a bit because you take a lot of it for granted, and sort of feel like a tourist a bit. One of my favorite places to write was Georgetown because it's just so kind of scenic, in the cobblestones and the sort of the clock that's in the bank and all these little details and sort of in wintertime where they put the wreaths and the bow on the lanterns. And so little details like that, and sort of imbuing it with a level of beauty and justice, which I feel like a lot of DC novels, they are maybe political thrillers and things like that. And I mean, Edward P. Jones is sort of a canonical DC writer who writes about DC. But I think also in this time period too, I wanted to just, give some love to the city and the people, who keep it running.
I love that. Is there, maybe you already answered this about Georgetown, was there a place that you really enjoyed putting in there, like a restaurant or anything like that?
So the waterfront, but like it's
Yes.
like I made it really dirty, so they're like looking and there's like a giant bag floating in it.
I mean, sometimes it happens.
And it you know, this scene is shortly after the plane crashed into the Potomac, so
Yeah.
there's also this melancholic feeling of like
Right.
the river being there,
yeah.
and that just felt very symbolic to me, that moment.
Yeah.
Because there hadn't been a plane crash in the city in decades.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, and I feel like anybody who lives in the DMV, I mean, it's ingrained in
Yeah.
our minds, 100%. I wanted to talk about the writing process. So, what are you a fast writer? Are you a slow writer? There's no right or wrong way, but I want to know.
I'm actually a fast drafter, so
Okay.
I can draft a book in like 3 months,
Wow.
4 months.
Teach me your ways.
Well, I got to revise it for like 4 years. So it's like, it's a trade-off. So yeah, I can write pretty fast if I'm like in the groove, but revision has historically taken me a long time, because that's
Okay.
really where I'm like, okay, we gotta, they all fall in love at the end. I actually rewrote from scratch. I mean, just like opened a blank document and just
Okay.
rewrote it. So
But I mean, it worked out. It turned out great. And I wanted to actually ask about the title.
Yeah.
Where did it come from? Is it a spoiler?
It's not a spoiler.
All right.
And so I think one thing which is interesting is, I don't necessarily think the title is supposed to be indicative of what actually happens in the
Yeah.
book. Like, The Great Gatsby isn't about a magician, but like we all understand that.
True.
But I thought that it accomplished two things, which is it gestures at the fact that it's a literary love story, but
Yeah.
also the book is also about the nature of storytelling in and of itself. I mean, it's meta. The character is writing a novel about being in an open relationship, but at the same time, she's interrogating her dependence on story, this was me interrogating my dependence on story, which is, why do I need a story to tell me who I am? And this feeds into some of the political commentary too, which is, a lot of the times it's about who told the better story rather than the truth. And so it's about the power of story to inform our identity, but also the danger of story when we put too much meaning into it. Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, hearing about the title is so interesting, and I feel like it adds so much more to the book as well, to have that context. I wanted to talk about reading a little bit. Reading is integral to writing. All writers read. Do you have any books that you especially love or really were impactful to you?
Yeah. Oh my God. So I mentioned The Great Gatsby because I love The Great Gatsby.
And The Great Gatsby classic, definitely.
I think it's a perfect novel. And I also think too about how he was writing about the 20s, but in the 1920s, and sort of trying to capture the dark underbelly of that period of time, and the glitz and glams that like is the varnish of it.
Yeah.
I just started the Neapolitan novels by Elena Ferrante, like the Quartet, which is like already incredible. As far as like what I read as a kid, I loved Series of Unfortunate Events.
Oh
like, I mean, it was like the last time I remember where you're like, I gotta get the next book. I gotta get the next book.
Lemony Snicket had us
Incredible.
Had us on lock pretty much. Would you say that series really inspired you to write?
I'm one of those people that for whatever reason was born with the desire inside of me. Like
I love that.
I always wrote, and when I was a little, like very little, like kindergarten, I would write about my dreams, and I would make little books into them. So I don't know where that comes from. I mean, my grandma was a librarian, and so was my great grandma. Now they didn't have that many options, so I don't like to put too much stock into that. Like it was either to be a librarian or like a teacher.
Right, fair.
In the 50s.
Still though.
But yeah, so I can't really pinpoint where it comes from. I just always has been inside of me.
That is so cool, though. And
thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we have to go to break, but when we come back, of course, we're going to talk more about writing and the book They All Fall in Love at the end. So everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Beltway Book Club. Welcome back to the Beltway Book Club, everyone. I am your host, Ellen Meny. I am here with Haili Blassingame. She is the author of They All Fall in Love at the End. We've been discussing the book and more books and writing and all of that good stuff. I always like to ask the authors I interview if they have any advice for people who want to be in your shoes, who want to write. The floor is open.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I have some philosophical advice.
I'm
I know
ready.
everyone hates. I know people want to know like how to get
No,
an
I love
agent,
it.
how
I
do you
love
sell a
it.
book, but once you get to those places, it is important to sort of have some, I feel like, grounded advice. And I think it's really important to understand that your no is the only no that matters. So there's a term when you go on submission, which is when you shop your book to editors, and there's a term saying your book dying on submission, which I never like, because to me, as the author, I'm the only person who can kill my work. And so my advice is you kind of have to believe in yourself with your whole chest, which I know is difficult. But if you don't believe in yourself, why is anyone else going to believe in you? And so you have to come back to your work and your why. And I think, I don't know, like there's this feeling when you're a young writer, like someone please just give me a chance.
Yes,
someone please just look at me. And I understand, I get it, but you have something to offer as well, and you are the keeper of your craft. And I just think it's really important to return to that truth over and over again, because the process can be brutal.
It can. I think that's great advice. It's philosophical, but for a good reason. I agree. I think especially because it's advice that you can give when you look back on the process. Yeah. And I do think a lot of writers are like on their hands and knees, please give me a chance. But in the industry, you kind of have to, really advocate for yourself and believe in yourself. Yeah. Great advice. What do you hope people get out of your book, They All Fall in Love at the End?
Yeah. I really saw myself as filling a gap in literature, and that was sort of the purpose. Yeah. And so I hope that it gets its due. I hope that, people walk away from it feeling like they have a different understanding of this moment in history. Like, I think novels can do something very special in sort of archiving time periods. And so that's some of the best, reviews that I've gotten. So this feels like what it felt like. This feels like now. And I just hope that people walk away, not traumatized or anything, but just, sometimes being in the story, being in narrative helps us, process what's going on in our own lives. And so I hope when people read the book, they have a great time. They sort of get to live inside the mess of these characters and come to love these characters, but they also can leave it having a different perspective on our world in this moment.
Absolutely. That is a beautiful thing. All right, not to get ahead of myself, but are you working on another book?
I am. So it's a time travel novel,
yes.
which is it's like, I guess the short pitch is it's like 17 again, but kind of evil.
I'm ready. I'm pre-ordering it right now. Okay, and I know you're working on it. So manifesting.
Yes, please.
Yes,
pray
absolutely.
for me.
I got you. And then if people want to, do you have any events coming up for this book right now, They All Fall in Love at the End?
Yes, I do actually. So I have one at the Politics and Prose at Union Market on Thursday, August 13th.
Nice.
And then I have an event at Kramer's, which is in DuPont Circle, and that is on Thursday, September 10th. So that's going to be a panel. So
fantastic. Good stuff. And then where can people find you where can people find you online? And then where can people find the book?
Yeah, so you can find me on Substack at Touch Her and Die, and my Instagram is Haili Wrote a Book. And then you can find the book pretty much wherever books are sold, at your local indie bookstore, bookshop.org, Amazon.
Amazon. Yes. Before we go, I have to ask, Touch Her and Die, what is the Substack all about? What a name.
Okay, the name has nothing to do with anything,
that's
so
okay.
I'm a producer for a show called 1A, and I did a show on Romantasy a little while back, and Touch Her and Die is sort of a trope.
Yes, it's a classic.
And I had never heard of it. Like, I know more about, like, the rom-com tropes, but I had never heard of Touch Her and Die, which is basically, like, there is a love interest, and it's like, if you touch my girl, I'm gonna kill you.
Right,
that's die. The vibe. And I was like, that sounds like a girl pop punk band.
Yes.
So my Substack is literally about whatever I feel like writing about. But just like the spirit of that, I felt like captured my Substack.
I love it. Well, we have the tiniest bit of time left. So because you talked about romanticy, I have to ask, do you have a favorite romance trope?
Oh, well,
I'm sorry, this is a tough one.
I mean, I guess I love friends to lovers.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you can do so much in it. I mean, like my favorite is I want it to be either friends to enemies to lovers or enemies to friends to lovers. So I like, that arc.
That makes total sense. Okay, thank you for that. I had to ask. Haili, thank you so much for joining me. This was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Again, They All Fall in Love at the End is available wherever books are sold. So please go out and buy it. And everybody, thank you so much for watching the Beltway Book Club. Thank you for joining me. And as always, you can find the episodes online after the show is live on YouTube and our website, dcnewsnow.com. Everyone, have a great day. I will see you next time. Keep reading and keep writing. Have a good one.